My arch nemesis on chess.com is DJ Ron Passant, one of the bots added for the month of February. Now, this bot is the one that I've been playing against the most over the past week and a bit, and I cannot beat DJ Ron Passant. I have tried what I feel like is everything, and I continue to get bested. Now, the bot is programmed or rated at a 1350 ELO. I am a 500 ELO player. That doesn't mean that I play at 500 every game. I'm trying new openings. I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to analyze myself and become a better player. Now, in doing that, I feel like I have improved to the point where I am actually a bit of a challenge for DJ Ron Passant. Earlier today, I decided to take a crack at him once again. And this is by far the best game of chess to date that I have ever played. So what I did is I've loaded this game into the chess.com analysis tool, and we are going to go through every single move made. I'm going to have a look at what went right, what went wrong, and at the end of this, you are going to see if I was able to defeat my arch nemesis, DJ Ron Passant. And with that out of the way, let's jump into this game. Now, before we get started looking at the moves and actually analyzing everything, I really quickly want to say, if you enjoy my style of chess content, my commentary, my analysis, watching me progress as a player, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me. And I've got lots of really fun content planned for the future. So stay tuned. With that out of the way, let's actually get started here and have a look at the first moves here against DJ Ron Passant. So my goal in this game, since I got black, was to try to incorporate the Sicilian defense once again. So right now we've got the Sicilian invitation. We're going to see we moved pawn c5, then we moved d6, then we moved knight to c6 again. So we are just trying to respond and build a very strong center. That was my goal. I wanted to build the strongest center possible against this bot. The few times that I have been playing DJ Ron Passant, not the few times, but really over the course of the past week or so, I feel like I've been learning a bit on how the bot tries to play and how the bot is trying to kind of trap me or take some of my pieces. And therefore, I'm putting myself in situations where, ta-da, I am moving my knight and kind of trading pieces on my own terms. So in this situation, I'm putting knight to f3, which is putting the queen into check, and that is going to force the king to open up his file because there is nowhere else for this take to happen. And now this file is pretty open for me. So that felt like a kind of a good move, kind of a good play. That was a forced move. And now I'm just trying to develop some more pieces. My thought process here is, hey, I'm going to try to castle my king on the long side. I don't actually remember what the proper technical term is. I make a lot of mistakes with technical words and terms in chess. And so anytime I do that, please comment down below what I should actually be saying in that situation, and I'll try to remember. But we're developing the queen now. We've got the queen coming out. We castle. We let queen take queen. This was a moment where, let me actually go back here. So castling was excellent according to the computer. Queen taking queen was played, which was excellent, and taking back was excellent on my part. So I think one of the things I'm learning as I'm getting better at chess, or so I think, is not being scared to equally trade pieces that are advantageous for me. Now, one thing about this that you will see later in the game is this file is completely open with my king exposed, and I do not have an easy path to defend or put another piece on this side of my king to really defend, which would be queen side of the board. So moving on here, we have a couple more great plays by both myself and the computer. For the most part, a lot of this game was played very well, actually. If I go into the review here, I can see that myself and DJ Ron Passant both played an 80% accuracy. Ron Passant was at an 81%, I was at an 80%, and the ELO rating that I got in this game was 1,500. So I actually played 1,000 points above what my typical rating is. right? My actual rating right now in a 10-minute game is 500. I played it at 1500 in this match. So that was very exciting for me. Apparently we have to reset this. I didn't think that was going to happen. Let me just get back to where I was at. I don't know how to use this analysis tool super efficiently just yet. So, okay, we were right around here. We were right around here. I'm going through this just to kind of see where the pieces were, where they were developing. Obviously, I can look at like some of the mistakes that I made. So this was a mistake right here. This was a miss. I don't know. There's something in here that will show you what the best plays are. I'm not too worried about what the best plays are. I'm really just looking at where did I go? And this is the best game that I played. So there's going to be some stuff happening later in this game that's very interesting to me, especially the end game. The end game of this game is where I really felt like I played well, but I did make a few vital mistakes. Now, in this situation here, you can see I have a lot of center board presence. Super happy to see that I've got a lot of board presence here. I'm defending in a lot of areas. I've got my pawns putting a lot of pressure out into the top of the board here, all of this. I felt really good about my positioning. I've also developed all but 2 pieces, whereas my opponent, DJ Ron Passant, has not developed 3 of his pieces. So I'm feeling really good about my positioning here, kind of mid-game. I think we're on turn 16, something like that. 16, this is 17. My idea here was I didn't want to let the pawn trade. So I move up here. This was a blunder from the computer, and this allowed me to get a really nice fork on the king and the rook. And this is where I felt really confident in my game, because one of the things I've been learning is that any time that you can trade a developed piece for a non-developed piece, that's a good trade, especially in this situation where I'm going to be able to take the rook. I'm going to get 5 points, and my knight is only going to be worth 3 points. So I'm actually up 2 points at the end of this exchange. So that felt like a really great trade to me. I was very happy with that. And now I'm starting to develop my kingside pawns just to give a little bit more breathing room, hopefully be able to develop this rook without having to kind of shuffle pieces around, shuffle stuff over to get into this situation. That just felt a little bit cumbersome to me. I wanted to start developing on this side of the board, especially because I am covering so much of this side with these pawns. This was the idea. This was the thought process at the very least, okay? So now I am moving the king out of the way. I see that this file is open, and if I'm able to get this rook here, I'm going to be putting the king into check. So this was really nice, putting my king into check. We move over, he moves back up, and now we've got this file. If his bishop does not defend this pawn, I get a free take, and then I put pressure on the bishop and possibly a take. But this is a great move by DJ Ron Passant. He is a computer. I expect some great moves every once in a while. So I'm going to continue to try and develop my king side on the board. Over here, I'm thinking, okay, well, we've got knight in this situation. I can fall backwards, but then what am I going to do? If I fall back here, he's going to move a pawn. He's going to move a rook. He's not going to take over here with this bishop. So if I can do an equal trade, right, that seems to make sense to me. It's also going to open up a bit of a file. I've got some rooks over here. So if I open this file up, I might be able to attack or develop something a little bit more. This says it was a mistake or an inaccuracy. Okay, that's fair. I do think it was a bit of an inaccuracy. We move up, and now this is a bit of an interesting situation. What I could have done is double my pawns on the furthest outside lane of the board, the H file of the board. What I did instead was move my pawns over, double my pawns up on the G file, kind of hoping that the computer would blunder here and give me the rook for free, though that's very obvious and very dumb. This also does say this was the best move. So this is apparently the best move. He then moves forward, which is a great move because now I cannot take and defend my rook. I can't do an even trade on the rook. So what am I going to do? I have no idea why I moved my king over here. That was really stupid. I think my idea was, if we go over here, why did I move my king over here? I'm trying to remember when I was playing what my thought process was. I have no idea. I don't know what I should have done in that situation, but definitely not that. Okay, so now we get a few mistakes from the computer, another mistake from myself. This causes his rook to also defend the G file, which I'm not 100% sure why the computer decided to do this. I don't know what the thought process was here. There's no defense. There's 2 pawns here, so he could take a pawn and then I could go over here and then he goes over here. Like, it was a little bit strange to me. I'm not 100% sure what the thought process was because I moved back over to H file. He takes, I take, but now I control this entire file with no risk of being taken. And the possibility, if I open this up with this or whatever, I've kind of got 2 angles of attack now because I've got both of my rooks on open files at the edge of the board. So I was really happy with this positioning in this situation. And you can't see because I don't have it set up for an analysis, but I am actually favored right now, according to the computer, a little over half favored in this position. So this is another great position. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to put some pressure on an equal piece. I'm up on material. If he wants to take, I'm going to take. We've got completely open files over here then. Lots of opportunity to do some crazy stuff. We can move king over to defend. We can take. All sorts of really crazy matrix level ideas happening in my brain here, okay? We get the defense, which is totally fair. I'm like, okay, he's going to defend. That's fine. This was very strange. I don't know why he did that. And then I got overly ambitious and took bishop with bishop. In this situation, I absolutely should have either moved bishop to f8 or bishop to d6. That is absolutely what I should have done instead of that. Or I could have moved rook down to h5 and put pressure because king was defending. So could have done either of those. I have no idea why I didn't do that. Bad play by me. But now that this bishop is gone, I thought, I'm going to make my move. I am going to start putting some pressure on the right side of the board, on the, I guess, queen side of the board, because now I've got 2 rooks in enemy territory. This guy's got 1 rook and 1 bishop. All of the pawns are locked up. Nobody's able to move. I'm thinking I'm in a really good position right now, okay? We get a bit of a mistake from king. I am like an 80% favorite right now, according to the computer, after this mistake, okay? I am kind of on cloud 9. I'm very excited to be in this position, in this spot. Put the king into check. I'm going to force a move. That's the best move. I cannot move into this corner because bishop is protecting. I don't like that the bishop is protecting. It makes me very sad. I'm quite upset about it. And looking back, the computer is saying that this is the best move for me to make. And now that I'm watching the game back, I can see why. Because in this situation, after this move, which is a great defensive move by the computer, if this had blundered, I can take another pawn out of the game. I'm putting pressure on the bishop. The bishop really has nowhere to go in this situation. He can move back here. He can't move here. Doesn't make any sense to do that. However, the computer makes the best move. DJ Ron Passant. I keep calling him the computer. He's a bot, okay? He makes this best move, and now I am going to force check again. Now, obviously, the king can move back over here, and I've got 2 pieces in my way. I cannot put check in. I can't move up here to double up my rooks on the same line. What is this called, by the way? What is this called? I know these are called files. What are the horizontal ones called? I don't know. Let me know in the comments so that I can use proper terminology. Once again, I need a drink of water. 1 second. I'm thirsty. I'm doing a lot of talking in this analysis, okay? I move my king over so that I can put some pressure on this rook. Rook moves up here, which is fine. Again, lots of, like, a cluster of pieces here that are really difficult to do anything about. Again, all of these pawns have not moved for the entire game, and I've doubled up my pawns on the B file. So I am working with 2 rooks, trying to navigate this board in a way that I can get even more of a favorite to win this game. Again, I have not been able to beat DJ Ron Passant for a week and a half playing against him. I am now an 80% favorite to win this game, and I am trying desperately to get the computer to make a mistake or to find something. And my dumb little peanut 500 ELO brain is thinking, if I can just keep forcing check, I'm going to get the computer to either make a mistake or I'm going to be able to get some sort of a skewer. Like if he moves here, I'm going to get a skewer. Well, I do get a skewer, but he makes the best move. I can't attack here. I'm not going to be able to do anything about this. I can't move my king up. I can't move my king over. I can't put any pressure on any of this because of this weird cluster. In this situation, I don't know what really I should be doing. I just don't have a great idea. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to try to take care of some of these pawns. These pawns are really hindering me. I get a move here, which I'm so excited about. I'm like, oh my God, the heavens have opened. This is beautiful. I can take here. And this is a blunder because in my excitement, in my absolute eagerness to dominate this bot, I go from an 80% favorite, or whatever the percentage is here, all the way down to losing this game, almost as much as I was winning by a move prior. Now, in this situation, I believe when I was looking at the review, I should have put check. Actually, what I should have done is put check here because this H1 is no longer being protected by this bishop. I should have forced check, which may have gotten the bishop to move here, but then I can put check over here if he doesn't move his king, and now I get the bishop. I'm realizing this in real time, by the way. Okay? In my stupidity, in my peanut brain 500 ELO blunder, I throw away a rook. And now I'm scared. Now I am really struggling because look, I see this. One move later, I see the light. I see the future. In this situation now, it's kind of a mad scramble to hope and pray that I'm able to make something happen. So in this situation here, when I move over and I'm put into check, I'm thinking, okay, I'm in a fork. If I don't take and sacrifice my rook, I will lose this game. So I take the rook. I then move over here. Again, what else am I going to do in this situation aside from moving backwards? Bishop moves over. We put some pressure on the bishop. Bishop moves all the way down. I'm trying to get a little bit closer. In this situation, I don't know why the bishop didn't move all the way to C8 originally. Seems like a strange move. Maybe hoping that if I move down, he can put me in check again. But he's going to take the only pawn that's kind of free right now. I see that this is putting the king into check, but I don't want to lose this pawn right away. So I move my king again. It's the only piece I can move. I cannot do anything with my king. I'm trying to take this pawn, because if I start scooting around the board over here and this pawn has a free lane to kill whatever it wants, I'm in big doo-doo trouble, okay? Well, we dance. We dance for a while. Finally, the bishop moves, and I'm able to get closer to this pawn. Bishop moves again. I'm able to get this pawn. This pawn is no longer a problem, and now the game is back to even. We are literally 50-50 equals in this situation because I'm up a pawn. I'm up a pawn. Now, king can take this pawn, and this is kind of a weird spot because instead I should have gone up and over. That was my plan from the beginning. That was a mistake. This is a great move. That's good. Great move. Look, I'm making all these great moves. Big brain, smart, Giga Chad. All right. We're doing a little bit of a rainbow. Now, king can't take, right? It's open. It's got an open lane, but king can't take because I've got it protected. Then we dance again. We dance, we dance, we dance. We're dancing. I am waiting. I'm like, I literally cannot do anything. My thought process in this situation is to continue doing the same moves back and forth to try and force a draw. Okay? He's just moving his bishop all over the place, being weird. You might see my computer lagging out because it's trying to actually analyze what's going on here. And at some point, something incredible happens. I think the computer does not want to allow a draw. Okay? The computer does not want me to draw. I am now on black squares. There is 0% chance. It is impossible for anything to happen other than maybe a stalemate if he decides to bring his king over here and trap me because I can't move this direction. The computer does not decide to do that. He does move up here, and he probably is trying to make this change. So I move my king up. I'm like, okay, I have to protect this pawn. This is the president right now. Okay, king moves backwards, which is a little strange. This does give me the opportunity to now take a pawn. I am back in the driver's seat. Ladies and gentlemen, I have returned to an 80% favorite to win this game against my arch nemesis, DJ Ron Passant. We're put in a bad situation here. We can't move up. The king is blocking us. We have to move over. If I move too far away from all of my pawns, I'm getting a little scared that something bad might happen. He moves back. I move up. This says this is an inaccuracy, probably because what I should have done is move my pawn up here. It's protected by the king in that situation. It also allows me to take a pawn on the next turn, but I was clouded by the fact that I have 4 pawns and I'm facing off against 2 blocked pawns and a single bishop. He moves his bishop back. I move down. He moves his bishop up. I make a great move. What do you think my next move is? Is my next move to Giga Chad take out this pawn, essentially guaranteeing the win at that point? No. My next move... Oh, it was that. Okay, I thought I put the king into check here, but I didn't. He moves again. I move up, which is strange. At this point, I should have put the king into check. I do finally put the king into check. He moves up. I move over. His bishop is off in La La Land. He's not doing anything. He's not trying to put pressure on anything. His bishop's in La La Land. I am building an absolute fortress of solitude, okay? I move up. We're preparing for war, okay? We are going to try and put the king into check. If we put the king into check, he is going to take. I am then going to move up one more. That's the plan. I move the king up to protect. This is still protected. The king cannot move over here now. I move this pawn up. I move my king. Why do I move my king? I don't know why I move my king. This is now where everything falls apart. Everything in my life comes crumbling down around me as I move my pawn out of harm's way, allowing the king to take for free. Now, I'm thinking I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Except I'm put into check, and the only path for my pawn to promote is now blocked by this dumb bishop. So I'm thinking, okay, I need to try and dance. I have to try to dance. I have to try to get this bishop to make a mistake, to get him stuck somewhere. And now his pawn is free. Because as I'm dancing over here like an idiot, his king is just waddling over to take the only thing stopping me from losing this game. And now everything falls apart. Everything is terrible as his king protects his bishop. His queen was too far away for me to do anything. And I fall to checkmate. When I tell you that a part of me died inside because of this game, I'm not kidding. I lost something today. Innocence, maybe. The joy of life. I don't know. What I do know is that this was one of the best games of chess that I ever played. I made a lot of great decisions. I had a lot of center board control early in this game. I learned a lot watching this game back and just seeing the mistakes that I made. DJ Ron Passant was a great bot to put my skills to the test as a new chess player. Moves like this, putting the king into check to sacrifice, felt really good. So at the end of the day, I'm not disappointed with this game. I'm just disappointed that it ended the way it did when I had such a clear path to beating my arch nemesis. I do believe the day will come where I will slay Ron Passant. Today was just simply not that day. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my personal evaluation and analysis of this game. If you did, again, subscribe, like, do the things you do on YouTube. I'm looking forward to making more content. I'm looking forward to seeing you in future videos. And with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.